All right. Welcome to everyone for Department of Food and Agriculture's Disability Advisory Committee's lunchtime presentation and training. Today we have Raymond Kwong and Carla. I am so sorry. I'm not familiar how to pronounce your name, but I have Carla as well from Disability Rights California. I just am about to drop their website into our chat so you can see their website. And it's a great program or huge organization. It covers so many different areas with resources. So I'm going to go ahead and let Raymond take over and introduce himself, do any further introductions and for him and Carla.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us speak to your group today. My name is Raymond Kwong. I'm an advocate here at Disability Rights California. I'm based in the San Diego office. Carla, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carla. I'm also an advocate, and I am in the Modesto area.
So today we're gonna give you an overview on what our agency is, what services we provide to people with disabilities. So let me share our PowerPoint. I'm sorry if you hear dog toys in the background. My dog decided to play right now. So Disability Rights California, we are a statewide nonprofit agency, and we provide free legal services to people with disabilities with disability-related issues. Today, this is a table of content on what we'll cover: our history, our agency's history, our mission and funding, the different offices that we have throughout the state of California, our programs, who we help, how we can help you, problems that we cannot help with, any additional information, and finally contact information. Excuse me. So just a bit of our agency's history. We used to be called Protection and Advocacy, Inc. Back in 1972, there was a reporting on the Willowbrook State School. The reporting showed the horrific conditions that people with disabilities were living in. So that prompted Senate to mandate each state to have their own protection and advocacy agency. So Disability Rights California, we are the protection and advocacy agency in the state of California. Other states has similar agency as well. So for example, there's a Disability Rights Oregon, Disability Rights New York. So they might be called something a little differently, but every state should have a protection and advocacy agency. We changed our name to Disability Rights California in 2008. So here's our mission statement. So Disability Rights California advocates, educate, investigate, and litigate to advance the rights, dignity, equal opportunity, and choices for all people with disabilities. And we provide disability-related legal assistance for people with disabilities, and we provide outreach and trainings, so such as the one we are doing now, presentation on our services. We also have, I also am part of the Legal Clinics project, so we go out to the community, partner with an attorney who would provide substantive training on a particular issue. So for example, it could be on special education, it could be on public benefits, and after that training, we'll have a legal clinic. So participants can either contact us afterwards with their individual issues, or if when it was in person, parents or participants can just line up afterwards and speak to an advocate. Excuse me. And we also provide support to people who have disabilities and their circle support. So it's not just the person themselves with disabilities. It could be for family members. If a mother who has a child with disabilities, they could call us regarding services for the child. If they have issues with special education, issues with the regional centers, and so forth. and we are funded through federal grants and the state bar. So here are a number of our offices. Our headquarters is in Sacramento, office in Oakland, Modesto, Fresno, one of our smaller offices, Los Angeles, San Diego, which is where I'm from, Ontario, Orange County, and we have other smaller offices dotted throughout the state. Here are the different programs that we have within the agency. We have, we're a large agency. I think we have, if I remember correctly, we have like 250 or 50 plus staff in our agency. So we have different programs in that agency. The California Office of Patients' Rights, which we have advocates in the different state hospitals and institutions. So if any patients have a disability and run into trouble with, let's say, physical restraints or seclusion, or their rights are being violated in any way, we have advocates, on site who can help them. The Office of Client Rights Advocacy, which is the unit that specifically helps clients of the regional center. For those who might not be familiar with the regional center, it's an agency that helps people with intellectual developmental disabilities. So if clients of the regional center run the trouble with getting services, anything like that, we have a unit that specifically have those issues. The Clients Assistance Program, this unit specifically helps clients of the Department of Rehabilitation. If you're not familiar, the Department of Rehab, or the DOR, provides services to people with disabilities who are looking for work. We have the Peer Self-Efficacy unit. This is all the staff in this unit, all the staff in this unit identify with having a mental health disability. So they go out into the community, they provide presentation on different topics on public benefit. It could be on public benefits. Basically, they are peers going out in the community, providing training to other peers. Work Incentive and Planning Assistance, or WIPA. This program serves the county of San Diego, Riverside, and Imperial. The staff of this program helps people who have disabilities who are on Social Security benefits such as SSI or SSDI. If they are thinking about going to work, staff here could help them figure out, if they are making this much money, how would it affect their benefits, or if it would affect their benefits, they can provide them with kind of a case management sort of, helping them go through the different rules that Social Security might have. If they're on different programs, how would their work affect their benefits? The Office of Payee Review and Beneficiary Assistance, this unit goes out to the community and kind of provide, investigate if there's any wrongdoing, I guess, for lack of a better term, by rep payee. So for those who might not be familiar with what rep payee is, let's say I'm a person with a disability and because of my condition, I have a hard time managing my finances. So I would have a rep payee who would take let's say I'm on Social Security as well. They would take the Social Security checks for me, manage my finances, make sure, my rent and food, basically all my basic needs taken care of. So let's say there's someone report that their rep payee is, doing something fishy, doing something shady, then this unit could go out and review and investigate what's going on if the payee is doing something they're not supposed to. And the Legal Advocacy Unit, which is where Carla and I are in. This covers up the next portion of the next slides of this PowerPoint. We have different what we call them practice groups. Basically, it's a group of attorneys and advocates who works on a particular issues. So we have the investigations unit go out to investigate any abuse, neglect issues in facilities, in jails, and state institutions. We have the civil rights, which handles a lot of the employment discrimination issue, access issues with public places, with the mental health, which handles a lot of the mental health clients who might be calling from let's say they face discrimination because of their mental health disabilities, or they are in an institution and they're facing mistreatment. They're doing a lot of that cases. Youth specifically handles special education issues. Healthcare, home, community-based services would be on any health benefits, so Medi-Cal, in-home supportive services. If clients are facing those issues, this unit would provide feedback and maybe take their case. Pathways to Work covers the client assistance program, which I mentioned in the previous slide. So they do a lot of the work with the Department of Rehabilitation. Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities handles some of the regional center issues, or if I think if clients run into issues with I applied to regional center services, I'm being denied, what's going on, they might be able to help with that. Voting rights, it's a team of attorneys who works on voting system in the state of California, make sure everything is accessible to people with disabilities. They go out and do poll worker trainings. I know I worked with them previously to test out the accessible voting machines. And then we have the legislative unit, which handles the larger policies and laws that relates to people with disabilities in California. And the outreach and intake unit, which is where Carla and I are from. It's called the Community and
Engagement unit.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the acronym. Sorry. So that includes going out to the community doing presentations like we're doing now, and our intake unit, which is advocates who are on the phones and taking issues and going to the different practice group and getting feedback from them. We help everyone with disabilities. Doesn't matter what that may be. It could be intellectual, developmental, mental health, physical, sensory, which includes blind, deaf, traumatic brain injury, learning disabilities, and any medical condition. So before I pass it over to Carla for the rest of the presentation, I would just want to make sure to see if there's any questions, either in the room or in the chat. I am hearing nothing, and I don't think I see anything in the chat.
I don't see any.
Okay, then Carla, take it away.
Okay. So this slide explains what we can do for clients. We provide information and referrals. Sometimes if we can't assist, we can provide you resources in the community, and that can entail a referral list of attorneys in the areas that they need assistance in and that we can't help. We also provide counsel and advice, brief services, evaluation and assessment, negotiation and mediation, as well as technical assistance. We do provide direct representation, again, depending on the issue. And we do provide outreach, training, and self-advocacy support, just like what we're doing right now, providing a mini training on our DRC services. And this is what our intake looks like on an everyday basis. You will call our 800 number. And one of our intake assistants will screen the call. Typically takes about 3 to 5 minutes for you to describe your issue. Then you would be transferred to an advocate, where an advocate will be collecting the facts, will provide some legal information, and then we will create a file. Our attorneys will review it. We'll case conference it. And then our attorneys will either decide if they're able to, we have the bandwidth to, take on your case. They will be able to speak to you directly. And if they're not, they provide us additional information, services, or referrals. This whole process is the same. If depending on your language preference, we do have advocates that speak different languages, and we do have interpreters as well if we don't have an advocate that speaks your language. Problems that we can't help with, we can't provide direct representation with criminal, family, or bankruptcy or workers' compensation hearings, social work, personal injury lawsuits, obtaining Social Security benefits, or obtaining guardianships or conservatorships, or any other issues not related to an individual's disability. We do provide outreach. We reach out to the community, provide trainings, information. We participate in booths, both virtual or in person. We do try to network and collaborate with other organizations, and we do give out presentations and give and coordinate legal trainings and clinics. More than welcome to connect with us. And this just provides additional information, our publications, where we have them in our website, in accessible formats and languages. We do have a calendar of events where we have, for example, I'm running on Saturdays, every third Saturday of the month, we have drop-in intakes for clients that are not able to access us during the week in the hours that we have. We do provide Saturday drop-in intakes. Our website is disabilityrightsca.org. You can find us on Facebook, Disability Rights California. We do have a YouTube channel, our Twitter, LinkedIn, and we do have, I'm not sure if it's active right now, but we do have periodically surveys that we send out to clients or callers. What do they think about our services, what we should improve, and what additional information we should be providing our clients. And our contact information is up in the screen. We have our Sacramento, Los Angeles, Bay Area, our Oakland office, San Diego, Ontario, and Fresno, and also the Modesto office. And our best phone number to reach us at is our intake line, which is 1-800-776-5746. Any questions?
I don't see anything in the chat.
Well, that's the end of our presentation. I can, if it's helpful, I can provide a quick run through of our website as well, just to show you where to find where all our publications are located. Let me do that real quick. It shouldn't take more than a couple minutes. Make sure I'm opening this up correctly. So I'm going to present my screen one more time. So this is our website. A lot of our publication, I think all of our publications are listed here. If you speak another language, or if you need the website in another language, let me move the speaker screen away. You can select this here. Let's say you speak Spanish, you can switch this. If it's working, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so the whole website could be turned into Spanish for easy navigation. Let me switch back to English. There we go. Okay, so this is where all our publications are located, from assisted animal to special education to Department of Rehab. So pretty much everything we have is in here, and they are, I want to say a majority of them are translated into different languages. So let's say I'm just going to go into employment to provide you with an example. So let's say, oh, I want to know about accommodations in pandemic. You can see here on the sides, it lists all the languages that this publication is in for easy navigation. So that's pretty much it for our presentation. If you want to find out where our number is again, you can go here, and then our number is here, 1-800-776-5746. One last thing I guess I want to show you is our calendar of events as well. So it's the events and webinars. You can see past webinars that we have. If there's a recording, it should be posted in here, and our upcoming events as well. If you like to, if there's anything that is of interest to you, you can register and attend. Okay. there's no questions, then that's the end of our presentation.
Does there's a comment. Let's see. Says, do you happen to have any examples of success stories or statistics on the approximate number of people you do help each year?
We do. That's actually on our website. I'm not sure how frequently that's updated, but if I'm gonna show you again, I think it's listed at the bottom here. So let me see here one moment. I'm gonna present my screen again. So our website again, I think on the bottom it should have numbers. So here's just roughly the numbers of people we help, individual we serve by our staff. I know you asked about success stories, and let me see if I can find it. Here we go. The best place for our success stories would be our annual report. It's a really fancy one this year. So it goes into, it does provide individual stories, and you can go into, if you're interested, into our funding. And let's see, here's the table of contents, year in review, fun facts. Here you go, advocacy victories. So there would be more individual stories here, and if you like, of course, you can read about them. It's separated to different categories.
Okay. I have another question. Do you help only people with permanent disabilities, or can someone who was in an accident receive assistance?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you acquired your disabilities, or it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be born with it. If you have an accident, you broke your leg and you need, let's say, you broke your leg and you need accommodations at work and you don't know how to go about it, or you're getting pushback from your employer, we can provide you with information.
And I have my own questions. So just to clarify, so anyone looking for help in this area, they can just call on their own. They don't need to be referred, correct?
Correct. Anyone can just call the 1-800 number. No referrals needed.
Any other questions? Well, if there are no further questions, we can leave the chat room open, or leave our presentation open. And if someone thinks of something, you're welcome to drop the question in, or if you feel comfortable, we'll go ahead and we can do raise a hands. I'm going to drop in the website to the Disability Advisory Committee. At this time, the last presentation that I have posted right now is today's. There is another one in September for agribility. And that's the web page for Disability Advisory Committee. So if you want to pursue what's happening with our committee, feel free to check out the web page. It has contact information, as well as usually most of our most recent meeting information coming up.
Well, thank you again for having us present to the group.
Oh, someone just asked about the event in October. We have an event in September, and I'm looking for a calendar real quick. We have agribility coming in. I can drop in a link to their website. Don't mean to impose on disability rights, but we have agribility coming to us in September. And the date of their event cancel. They will be presenting September 22nd. So if you want to learn about how this AgriAbility is working with to help those with any kind of disability, you're welcome to join in. What more details will be followed up on our webpage and sent out department-wide. AgriAbility actually already works with our department, and they have initiated a web page that's already up and going that works with mental health and farmers. Any other questions for our disability rights? I know I've used the resource myself a number of times, and I haven't found anything that they weren't able to help me with. And I've also referred many people over. So. Well, I will keep everything running and recording for a little bit longer. And if any other further questions come through, or if anyone logs in or out. Otherwise, that pretty much concludes our presentation.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
again.
you.